guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to be doing my first ever anti-haul. A big thanks to Kimberly Clark, who has started this anti-haul trend, and just also a look into the bigger picture of consumerism. I feel in the makeup industry, the market is just totally saturated with new releases, things you have to get. You're seeing beauty gurus receiving their PR packages and just all kinds of releases that make us feel like we gotta buy, we gotta buy, we gotta buy. And it can be very just overwhelming at times. So the object of an anti-haul is to basically just look at products that you're not going to be buying and really just taking a closer look at what you're spending your money on, being a smart consumer and everything like that. I personally want to pare down my shopping, and there are just some things that I'm not gonna buy. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe and tap that notification bell to be notified of more videos. Also, let me know down in the comments below if you enjoyed this and if you would like to see more anti-hauls from me. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to insert pictures or not, so if not seeing pictures while I talk about the item bothers you, by all means, exit stage left now. Okay, so I was browsing on Ulta and Sephora, just kind of like, what's new, what's interesting, you know, what new releases have caught my eye. And when I was on Ulta, I saw a brand, basically, that I am not going to be purchasing from. And there has been a lot of buzz about Ulta now selling MAC cosmetics. And I remember when I first started and I wanted to get MAC, and MAC was like where it's at and everything like that. And I have one lipstick from MAC. It is this beautiful purple shade. It took me forever and a day to find it. And I have just decided that I am not going to be purchasing from MAC, even though it is very tempting. I stock a lot of their highlighters and blushes and things like that. And I'm like, oh man, I really want to get this, but I just don't, because I am in the process of going completely cruelty-free, and I feel that MAC is one of the companies that is the most unapologetically not cruelty-free. So I'm just not to give them my money. No highlighters, no collections, no nothing. I am just not going to be purchasing anything from MAC unless they become cruelty-free. The next item is actually a whole collection, and it does make me kind of sad to say this because there are a couple pieces that I really wanted, and this is the Urban Decay Jean-Michel Basquiat, that's how you say it. And some of the items in this collection look really cool. I mean, they have that really bright, super neon-y palette. They have a more neutral one. They have some beautiful lipsticks. They have a blush palette. I was really tempted to get, but part of the problem is I have these colors already. I mean, I have those blushes. I'm sure I have the Urban Decay Electric palette, so why do I need another bright palette? I also have the Urban Decay Full Spectrum palette that I got over the holidays. If I have that, I don't need the palette that I'm interested in. The only reason that I would purchase anything from this collection would be to support the artist. Now, unfortunately, he has passed away, and another reason why I will not be supporting this collaboration is because there has been a lot of controversy surrounding the fact that his art was very much about expressing urban and, you know, people of different races, of color, and Urban Decay basically pulled a very whitewashing of not representing that in their launch, in their whole campaign. So it's just kind of left a sour taste in a bunch of people's mouths, and I don't need any of the products and all that. I'm not gonna buy it. The next thing is something else that I kind of wanted, and you just look at it, you're like, do I want that? Do I need it? It is the IT Cosmetics Confidence in Your Glow Compact Palettes, whatever. They are in 3 shades, and you get a highlighter, bronzer, and a blush all together. Now, part of the reason why I'm not going to be buying this is probably a personal thing, and that is just because they're not separate pans. They're just kind of like tie-dyed together. And I don't know about you, but I like having separate pans. I don't like getting no highlighter in my blush, no blush in my bronzer, even though I don't bronze, no blush in my contour shade. It just wasn't for me. And they're $32. And I could take that $32 and buy a really bomb highlight that I want. I could take that $32, buy a really bomb blush, etc., etc. I know you get 3 things in one, and it is very beautiful packaging, but for me, the practicality of it is I'm probably just straight up not going to use it. So that one I'm passing on as well. Okay, so I was just scrolling through the Ulta new releases, and I'm just like, Now, I have been interested in purchasing some kind of highlighter from Ofra. I've heard amazing things about it, but they had this, so if I keep looking down, it's because I've got my notes down here. This is the Ofra On The Glow Highlighting Palette, $110. Now, their highlighters are originally 30 bucks each, and you get 6 pans in there, so if you break it down, that's pretty good. But the same breaking the price down with this palette is the same with the Natasha Denona eyeshadow palettes. Now, I have some friends who have her palettes, and they absolutely love them. But $110 for this highlighting palette is just a little much. I mean, I've got highlighting palettes from Anastasia Beverly Hills that cost $40 that I love. And if I already have those and there are other palettes that are coming out that are less expensive, I feel like I just can't justify the price on this. Now, I haven't heard many people talk about this palette. People have talked about the single Ofra highlighters, but this is just something I am going to pass on because it is not in my budget. Okay, all y'all know how much I love me some Becca. I've got Becca highlighters from here to the moon. I absolutely love their products. I have a couple eyeshadow palettes from them that I love, but they just came out with their Sunlit bronzers for $38 each, which is the same price as one of their highlighters. And the reason I'm not going to buy this isn't because of the price, isn't because of the product, it's because I don't bronze. I just don't. I know it's a makeup travesty, but I just don't. I mean, I will occasionally, you know, I'll try to do contour, but I prefer my makeup to go around my fair complexion, so I never try to warm up my face. I don't fake tan. I just don't. I prefer being on the paler spectrum. That's what I like for my makeup look, so there's just no point in me buying a bronzer that's just going to sit there and I'm going to be like, I don't bronze, I don't use you, and it's going to be like, eh. Okay, let's talk Tarte. I was all for their Make Believe in Yourself collection. I got the eyeshadow palette and I got the highlighter. Now, they have released the Tarte Clay Play Face Shaping Palette. It is $46 and you get basically little quads, and it comes with eyeshadows and also face products. None of the colors speak to me. It is a whole lot of neutrals. I already have the Tartelette palette, Tartelette in Bloom. I have the Tarteist Pro palette. I am done. I have plenty of Tarte neutral shades, and them throwing a couple contour or bronzing shades or whatever in there isn't going to make me want to buy this anymore, because I've got contour palettes, I've got face palettes, I have everything that already is in this palette. Now, it's beautiful to look at, don't get me wrong, it is very appealing to look at. However, $46, I can take that and buy something that I will use that isn't going to sit there in my collection just collecting dust. I don't need it. I'm not going to buy it. I don't want to have eyeshadows with my contour products. Yes, it's great all in one, whatever. But personally, I don't need it. Another eyeshadow palette is the NARS Narcissist Loaded Eyeshadow Palette. I have purchased in the past eyeshadow palettes from NARS. They just never, ever worked out for me. They were crazy expensive, and they just, for the price, they were just very underwhelming. Now, there are a couple YouTubers who I absolutely love who have talked about this product and think it is amazing, and that is great, but once again, it's a bunch of neutrals. I mean, if it were like a color spectrum of the rainbow, maybe that would excite me a whole heck of a lot more than a bunch of browns, taupes, and whatevers. But it doesn't. It's not a spectrum of the rainbow. It's a spectrum of mud and dirt. No. And it is, sorry, $59, which isn't horrendously bad, but for a bunch of neutrals that I'm not going to use, $59 is pretty high up there. It is a limited edition, so you've got that to take into consideration. I just, not going to do it, not going to buy it, passing. I love me some Urban Decay. I really do. But I don't feel like they've been releasing a lot of things that have really excited me. They do have their highlighter palette coming out soon that will be have come out by the time this video is up that I'm very interested in. I like their highlighters. But this is their Naked Skin Shapeshifter palette. It is a powder and cream contour, highlighter, whatever palette. And they do have it in two shades. One like light to medium and then medium to dark. Now, I have a bunch of contour palettes, but that's not why I'm really not interested in this. I'm not interested in it because I hate mixing powders with creams. It just sets me off. I hate it. And yes, with this palette, you do have it kind of flips open and it's got this divider between the powders and the creams. That's great. That's innovative. But the problem I have with it is no matter what I do, the cream side is going to dry out before I'm able to use all of it. So I'm stuck with just the powder side. The cream side has gone off bad, whatever. And, you know, just because they do have that flip thing doesn't mean it's impervious from getting anything into it. I just think it's very gimmicky. It's not well thought out. I wish they had just come out with, say, a totally powder one and a totally cream one. That's just my opinion. It is $45 and I have enough contour, and the fact that you've got that powder cream situation, it's not doing it for me. I'm not going to buy it. And then last but not least, we have the Huda Beauty 3D Highlighter Palettes. These are limited edition and retail for $45 on Sephora.com. And kind of the same thing with the Urban Decay Shapeshifter palette. You get 3 powders and a cream. This one doesn't have a cute little flap thing to keep the powder stuff from getting into the cream. So I'm just like, it just sets me off. And also the colors, they don't excite me. They don't look like anything new, anything unique. I mean, I feel like the industry is kind of burnt out on highlighters. We've just so many into the market. Everyone's trying to do dual chrome, holographic, whatever. And then when this came out, it was just kind of, you know, it wasn't exciting. I didn't look at it and think, oh, I don't have that in my collection, which I get with highlighters. And even if, you know, I already have it in my collection, I'm like, I still need it. But this just, it didn't do it for me. I've never tried anything from the brand. I am considering purchasing the Rose Gold Edition palette, but I'm not sure. The reviews are kind of mixed, but this just didn't excite me. I mean, it's just, no, not for me. And that was my first ever anti-haul. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys. Like I said, please let me know if you enjoyed this video and if you would like to see more. I will also be linking Kimberly Clark's channel down in the comments below. She's the bomb. Not just her anti-hauls, her whole channel is amazing. I think that her video on consumerism is spot on. I will regularly just rewatch all of her anti-haul videos. It's just, she's amazing. So be sure to check her out. I love you guys, and as always, keep it real. Mwah!